Welcome to the Director's Cut of Christian Nutrition, the show where we review every single episode of Veggietones chronologically. And by we, I mean just me. Tale as old as time.
Song as old as rhyme. Beauty and the Beast.
That's right. Today we are reviewing Beauty and the Beast. I mean Beauty and the Beat. I'm so sorry. Oh man. Anyways, but for real, we're reviewing Beauty and the Beat, the next to last episode in the classic VeggieTales format. The final VeggieTales episode with the classic animation style of the characters. Beauty and the Beat was released in October of 2014, and after 3 good, 2 great episodes back to back to back, I have high hope for Beauty and the Beast. It almost feels as if I'm gambling in Vegas right now. We all got lucky 3 times before. Should we all bet on black again, or should we all bet on red? Ooh, I want to bet on black. I want it to be good, but my gut says it's going to be red. I say we go all in on the 4th time. Let's go all in on black, you guys. Oh, man. Clocking in at almost an hour, this episode has a lot of time to do everything right. With that in mind, let's review Beauty and the Beat.
Hi, kids. I'm Bob the Tomato.
Enough with the chit-chat. Let's get this show on the road.
But Larry, I was just about to...
No time, Bob. We got a letter.
Well, I see VeggieTales on TV has come back to haunt us. It's finally taken its effect on the regular VeggieTales show. You know, it took it long enough. I expected this to happen a lot earlier.
A handwritten letter.
A letter? We usually just get emails.
It's urgent. Look.
Oh, crayon. This is serious.
Is whether a letter is written in crayon or not determine its importance? Is that how that works? Can you even imagine if that were the case? Okay, so let's say the President of the United States is having a meeting with the nation's top security advisors when one speaks up and says, sir, I have an urgent message. Venezuela is launching nukes at... And the president cuts him off with, yeah, another supposed urgent message. Fake news. You are fake news. And then his other advisory hands him a letter written in red crayon, which has the president say, what? Venezuela is launching nukes at San Francisco? That is really urgent, but America is more urgent. We will launch nukes first. And then the World War III breaks out, all because of red crayon. I can imagine this happening. I can only imagine this happening.
I can only imagine.
We gotta get changed to get ready for the show. Grace, we've got just the story for you. Our veggie version of the classic fairy tale, Beauty and the Beast. You gotta get cooking.
This is no way to introduce a show, Larry.
Larry, this is no way to introduce a show.
Sure it is, Bob.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Bob.
Everybody says I'm crazy to be talking with a guy like you.
Get used to this. So unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your view, Kellie Pickler, a singer who got popular on American Idol, she's like a country Christian singer, but she flopped. My opinion. I'm sure other people don't agree. Anyways, I think she flopped as an actual singer. Point being is she's playing the lead role here, and they use this and they abuse this. Aside from her being a true Mary Sue type character, she sings a lot. And unlike in past episodes, where if a singer played a character, you might get a song or 2 by them, Beauty and the Beat has a whopping 9 songs sung, not counting the theme song or the silly song. It gets really old really fast. And for your sanity in mind, I will skim over them unless something really important happens. They serve as mostly filler and a way to sell a soundtrack.
Hey, you guys are really good. You folks want another gig? A paying gig?
Oh yeah, and I kind of failed to mention this, but it's weird. This episode's actually more of like a biopic of this group, the Veggietones, and less a parody of Beauty and the Beast. In fact, the Beauty and the Beast stuff is really minimal in this episode. I am a bit surprised.
Let me introduce the family. On the drums, guitar, and bass are my sons, Buddy, Bobby, and Rob.
The Peas are your son, Larry?
My daughters, Katrina and Sabrina, singing those high harmonies.
One of your daughters is a carrot?
And our little sweet potato on lead, singing with the voice of an angel, Mirabelle.
A sweet potato is your daughter too? Where is their mother? How many times have you been married, Larry? Are you secretly a Mormon? I sure as heck hope you did a lot of adopting, otherwise you have a lot of explaining to do, good sir. A lot of explaining to do. The Veggietones get invited to Vegetable Square Garden, which is just Madison Square Garden, but for vegetables. It's a really good paying gig. That's what you need to know.
That should be the last of it.
Thanks, Mirabelle.
Whoa, little lady. Surely you don't have to haul your own gear, do you?
I know. I just thought the boys could use a hand.
talented, and a heart of gold.
Mary Sue, oh how I want to be a Mary Sue.
It's Vegetable Square Garden, the venue that launched some of the biggest bands around. Bands like the Groovy Brothers.
The Groovy Brothers? Are you telling me this episode does exist in the same universe as Celery Night Fever? That would mean Larry here is living a double life just as we suspected. Oh, what a twisted tale he has weaved. He does have multiple wives. He is secretly a Mormon.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Welcome to Beet's Alpine Suites. Come in, come in.
Archie is living a double life too. Are Bob and Mr. Lunt in this episode doing something else other than being in the Groovy Brothers? As it turns out, the hotel is pretty vacant and the Veggietones are low on cash, so they book only one room. Bob is the chef, and in a very non-Bob-like way, he is all goo-goo anime eyes for the Veggietones. It's very weird coming from Bob. Larry ends up seeing a chocolate rose and eats it, which leads us to meeting.
Who do you think you are to dare and eat my favorite dessert? My one and only guilty pleasure made for me and me alone. How dare you?
You know, I have an idea. I know you own the hotel, but maybe you don't leave your chocolate roses that are just for you out in the open for others to touch and eat. You know, that only seems logical. Anyways, the Veggietones apparently can't afford the massive meal that Bob made them when they showed up and he offered it to them as if it was free. So they strike up a deal to work off their debt to the hotel by helping out around the hotel. But more importantly, giving Pickler literally a stage to keep singing more songs.
We've already got a dinner show.
Ta-da! Hey, smart guy, get back into my rabbit stew. My name's not Stu, it's Harvey.
Oh, Bob. That is just embarrassing. But it's still better than all these songs sung by Kellie Pickler. So I will accept more of that, Bob. We need to have more of that in this episode. Please, I'm begging of you. We then get Kellie Pickler being the Mary Sue she really is by cleaning up the entire hotel and waking up early at 6 a.m. to do so all by herself. But not without a song, of course, that shows off her vocal talents. What else did you think would happen? As it turns out, the hotel has one other guest, the carrot from Scotland. He states how he is tired of the magic show puts on every single night and he just wants something new. But this, of course, leads the way for the door to be opened for, you guessed it, Kellie Pickler to sing her third song. Out of the 3 so far, all of them have been sung by her. That's great, and none of them have actually advanced the plot, you know, like a good musical. Now, you could argue they show you who Kellie Pickler's character really is through these songs, that she's a perfect, flawless, Mary Sue type character, but I don't need any song sung by her to learn that. Maybe one, at the most, but definitely not 3.
Huh, not bad at all.
Well, what'd you think?
Fine. Consider the nightly dinner show one of your chores. One of your chores.
A nightly song.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
How exactly did you guys get here in a blizzard?
We came on skis.
And you're gonna get out of here on skis?
Of course.
Skis.
What is going on with Larry?
No, that's a terrible idea.
Is this an episode of Family Guy? I am very confused right now. We finally get to the part we were promised. The part of the plot we were expecting. What's on the box and promotional artwork for this film. Something that has been pretty much ignored for the 20 minutes so far. Beauty and the Beet actually interacting and having some sort of a relationship. Hopefully they fall in love, since on the box it's like, oh, the Beet's holding the rose and Beauty's like just smiling like, oh, this is gonna happen, you guys. We're gonna have a love story. But so far that hasn't even been hinted at. But we finally get them to have a private conversation between them. Beet tells her to go away and she annoyingly pushes him to do music lessons. I would tell her to go away too.
You think about it.
I will do nothing of the sort.
You're thinking about it right now.
I am not.
Yeah, he's thinking about it.
This episode is terrible. I want to end the review right here. I really do. And I don't care for any of the other characters. The songs are overly long and bland, and the humor is lackluster at best. And we haven't even reached the silly song, you guys. We haven't even reached the silly song, which is like the halfway, sometimes the 1/3 point. Oh, if this wasn't the actual next to last episode in the series, I would end the review right here. I'm not even kidding. But I know how disappointed I would be if I was the viewer of this show and the host did that. So I will not end it. But it's only because of you guys. If it wasn't for you guys, this review would be over right now.
Surely Manuel has something that can help get us out of here. rockets.
We then get a song sung by Kellie Pickler's sisters about singing. We already had a song about cleaning earlier by Pickler, so skip.
And now it's time for Silly Songs with Larry, the part of the show where Larry comes out and sings a silly song.
Oh, thank the Lord. What a relief. Larry, please have a good song for us here. Please have a good song that is not bland and long.
We join Larry as he recounts the amazing tale of his family's invention of macaroni and cheese.
Oh man, this was a world-changing event. I wonder how it happened. Larry explains a Romeo and Juliet type story where way back in the past, two people fell in love, but they were from different families. Oh no. One family made macaroni and the other family made cheese, and they did not mix the two. They end up together and create the amazing concoction we know and love today.
It's impossibly delicious.
It's incredibly delightful.
There's a piece on your lips.
We shouldn't miss this biteful.
Are they actually going to kiss in Veggietones? Oh my. Oh my.
Oh, wait a minute. This is my grandparents. Nothing to see here.
Oh, thank goodness.
What? Who's wallpapering without my permission?
They're not bellhops ready to hop with bells on.
There's no need to try and lighten the mood, French peas. This episode cannot be saved. This would have to be the most amazing second half of any episode ever to save this episode.
Where are all my pots and pans?
We need them for cover.
For cover?
From the food fight.
Food fight? Watch out for slushies, Bob.
Whoa.
Never start a food fight with a chef.
It's the one and only Digo Double G.
Just one lesson.
Not interested. All right, maybe a half lesson.
A little over halfway through the episode, and these two are finally going to connect. Like, they're actually going to have like a moment together. You know, I should be more excited, but we know it's going to lead to more singing by her because that's what everything leads to in this episode. Everything leads to more singing by Kellie Pickler.
Just repeat after me. When the time is right, you gotta sing. Nothing can stop you, not a single thing.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
As you guys know, I've always thought of Junior as the worst character in the show. He's improved over time, but no one's really like taken his place to be the worst character, so Junior just kind of held the spot securely. And he's been reelected every single time. But I think now is the time for him to not run for worst character anymore. I think he can just resign from that position officially. He can retire. It's been a good run, you guys. He's had a good run. You know, sometimes he's annoying, sure, but nobody, and I mean nobody, is worse than this character. I thought a longer runtime meant more story and more jokes. That's how it works in Veggietales usually. Nope, it meant endless amounts of singing by this character. Beauty. Kellie Pickler, or whatever this character's name is now the worst character of Veggietales, period. It isn't even close. You know, we're 35 minutes into this 50-minute episode, which includes credits, of course. And we just now find out this hotel had received a 1-star rating. And who am I kidding? I don't care. Hopefully you don't care. Let's move on.
They say you are hard to love. There's some who are hard to love. They say they're unworthy of.
I'm not coming back until this character's out of the show and we're not doing anything associated with her.
Love is the song. God's love is the song.
That was a very nice story, Larry.
There's no need to lie, Bob. What's even more egregious is that this episode's promotional materials lied about this being any sort of love story. It acted like it is going to be a love story. Why is he holding a rose? He never gives her one. They never fall in love. The only rose we see is the chocolate one that Larry eats. She's just a Mary Sue. That shows him he can sing. And via her singing a lot. That's how she does it. This episode is a sham.
Have learned applies to our lives today. God has a lot to say in his book.
You seem to be okay with this song lately.
I really don't mind it.
This show is acknowledging this now. They're just now acknowledging this. I sure hope Bob explains why. I'm very curious to know.
Doesn't enter.
That God's word is for everyone. Now that our song is done, we'll take a look.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. come to talk with you again.
Dear friends, since God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. 1 John 4:11. Always remember, God made you special.
And he loves you very much. Before we say goodbye, we've got a special treat for the kids.
A treat? Awesome. What is it?
Deck the halls with boughs of holly.
Oh my goodness. What have we done to deserve this? Why are we being punished? Why? Let's wrap this episode and just move on already. That was Beauty and the Beat, and aside from the silly song, it was hot trash in terms of story, characters, and music. Don't waste your time with this episode. I don't care if it's the last regular VeggieTales episode with the classic animation. Throw it in the garbage and pretend like Celery Night Fever was, because that was at least a decent episode. It was a good episode. This is trash. This is trash on the levels of Snoodle's Tale. Different kind of trash, but both equal levels of trash, so let's ignore it. Because next week, you guys, let's have a joyous episode, because it is... Unfortunately, on one note, it's a sad episode because it's gonna be the last one. It's the last regular VeggieTales episode. It's Noah's Ark, but on a positive note, it's gonna be a special episode. I'll have a lot in store for you guys. It'll be a big episode. So remember that God made you special and He loves you very much. Bye.